Okay, before we can fly our kite, we really need to set it up. So first things first, take your kite, put the spars in it. We've already done that here. If you can't figure that out, you're gonna have bigger problems. Then we've got our helium balloon. We typically do run a balloon on our kite, even if there is moderate wind, because it gives the kite the same lift all the time. So it's like you get much less variation. You don't have to adjust the bait or do any of that stuff. And if the wind should shut off for a little bit, you're geared up for it. One trick that we started doing last year is when we tie the knot in the balloon, we put a zip tie in. And this is why. You can put the zip tie on the X of the frame of the kite, zip tie it. We used to use floss here. This is just quicker. And every second matters when you're setting this up. A lot of time, you know, you get caught off guard by fish or whatever. So now you're zip tied onto the kite. Now we're going to add a couple of pieces of Gorilla Tape. And what these do is these secure the kite to the balloon to the spars. These pieces, about 8 inches long of Gorilla Tape. This stuff's awesome. We're going to put it about halfway up the spar, maybe a little more than halfway. And then once we have them on there, we just roll the balloon onto it. And now the balloon is affixed to that spar. Make sure you've got your kite facing up away from you, or you're going to set it up upside down. And I wish I could say that's never happened. Other spar, same thing, just kind of roll it over. Don't put any tension on the tape or anything. Just kind of make it on there nice and loose so that it doesn't want to dig in and actually pop the balloon or pull the balloon till it tears. And then that's what it looks like. So we'll send it out. Okay, now we're ready to go kite fishing. We've got all of our fundamental pieces laid out here. Let's just go through them one at a time so everybody's on the same page. I want you guys to be able to do this from square one like you've never done it before. So first of all, we've got our rail rod. You don't have to use a rail rod, but here in Southern California, we really prefer them. The reason for that is not that we don't want to put on a harness and fight the fish. It's so we can have multiple fish hooked up at the same time without moving the boat. The rail rod allows us to go over, under, around the transom, whatever we need to do. Whereas if I had a couple, 3 guys in harnesses, they just can't do it. And the whole goal for me when we're fishing these fish is to get as many bites as fast as possible. You will see you get very small bite windows sometimes. Sometimes they'll bite like crazy for 30 minutes. I want to hook 5 fish if I can, you know, or they might bite for an hour. We're always just trying to get those fish on the line as fast as we can because you don't know when it's going to shut off, they're going to disappear, whatever. This is a Penn carnishing rail rod. This is the heaviest one they make. It's about 7 foot, and I think it's rated from 130 to 180. Then we've got a Penn 50 VISX. That's the narrow topless Penn reel. We absolutely love these. We carry a suite of them on the boat when we're out kite fishing. We're running a 130-pound braid on these. We get about 750 yards. And then I've got a wind on that I made myself that's going to be a 130 or 180-pound wind on. I put a bead on the wind on, and then I do my crimp to a swivel. The bead allows me to wind the swivel to the very tip of the rod, and it keeps your leader all nice and stretched out, as opposed to storing it with a clip back here on the reel. Of course, you've got your monster flyer. It's all rigged out, got the rubber bands on it, it's ready to go. And over here, our go-to reel since these came out has been these Penn Electrics. They're awesome. They have a built-in battery, which allows me to not have a cord, move it all over the boat. They're very powerful. They've been very reliable. I can't say enough good things about them. This is on a kite rod. This is the Ali electric kite rod. You don't have to have a custom kite rod, but they are nice because they're so short. You got the kite right here next to the boat. And then on this, we're spooled up with, it's a Fathom 50 electric. We spool it with, I believe these have 60-pound Seagar hollow core braid on them. Great braid. And then we've got about 100 feet down in the spool, there's a swivel. And that swivel comes with the release clip, which I'm about to show you next. And what it does is it acts as a stopper for this clip. So when I let this kite go, this clip is gonna maybe go up the line a little bit, but it'll end up right back here. So let's show that. You can see the clip will kind of run away from me a little bit, but as soon as I get to that swivel, I'm gonna lock this up. It's gonna change the angle of the kite. There it is. Kite's gonna go up in the air. And here's my release clip. Now, what this release clip does is it's gonna hold the main line, the line that's attached to the Penn 50 that we're gonna fight the fish on until we get bit. When you apply enough pressure, this clip will pop open release that line, and now you've got your kite is free and you're fighting the fish directly tied to it. So there is a little bit of order to this to make things easier. When I'm gonna send the bait out, first thing I do is I put my clicker on, I put my reel in free spool. All right, I'm gonna unfurl this guy. And this is true whether you're using a dead bait, this flying fish, any flying fish, the method is really the same. Go ahead and clip your bait in. Don't skimp on your swivels here. I've heard nightmare stories of guys losing fish due to a cheap swivel right next to the boat. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strip off all of my wind on. And the reason I'm doing that is to get to here so I can tie on an indicator. You can see there's an indicator already on here from fishing the other day. You'd want to use a fresh one of these anytime you get the chance because it'll flop better in the wind, just make it easier to see. So this is marking tape. It's used in construction. I buy it on Amazon. I think it's about $8 a roll or something. I strip off 3 or 4 feet of this to start every day. See how nice and I guess the flag action you get off of it. Once they get on the spool and they get all crunched down, they don't have that nice blowing action to them anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie on my indicator, simple overhand knot, and I'm gonna use the loop-to-loop connection where my wind on meets my main line. And I just use one of those loops. Now that I've got my indicator out of the way, I can go ahead and clip this into the clip, and I want it above the indicator so the indicator doesn't have to go through the clip repeatedly, making it really difficult. Check my tension. You want it firm. You really want to have to yank it. See this knob right here? And every clip's a little different. This will adjust how much tension there is on the clip before it pops. And you see I had to give that a good yank to get it loose. That's what you want, because you want to be able to really drive that hook home while the line is still in the clip. So now that I've done that, I can start to let the clip out. And as you can see, the swivel is getting hung up in the clip and it's stopping the clip so it can't slide on the line anymore, okay? Now here you want to keep a little bit of pressure on it just so you don't foul going out, but then I send it. And I'm still holding the indicator in my hand. And then once it gets a good distance away from the boat, you can see the indicator going away. Right, and now I'm walking out all my leader. Try not to get tangled up in it. And then I'm gonna send the bait. All you gotta do is just kind of let the dude go. Now with more wind, we can send that thing out and really get it flying off the side of the boat. And a lot of times you'll get bit right there.